Out. Do you guys have a question? Aileen, questions? You guys are all good? Okay. We're all going to talk about health behavior because ultimately when you think about it, the end of health promotion, health education, right? Our dental health education plans we put our patients on, our OHI. What is the goal of the end product of educating a patient? What are we trying to change? It's on the board behind me. Health behavior. Health behavior. Exactly. So, what I want you to do is take this sheet, fold it into thirds. Yes, I was just waiting. I thought this first. No worries. So, what I want you guys to do is fold it into thirds. And I want to get no right or wrong, but kind of assess. We'll have a student discussion. What is your definition of health behavior? What is a health behavior? And is a health behavior any different from any other behavior?
No.
And do our behaviors ultimately affect our health? Okay, those three questions, just a few sentences. You don't need to write a term paper, just a few sentences on each column, okay? I'll give you a few minutes to start.
I have 4 colors.
3, just like this. You have 3 now. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
One job. We had
One job, guys.
Yeah.
An F for
I know,
today.
I
No,
know.
teasing. I want to see your folding skills. Yes. Yes.
What are the questions again? I'm sorry.
Yes. What is a health behavior to you? Tell me what a health behavior is, first of all. Tell me if a health behavior is any different from any other behavior. And do our behaviors affect our health? Do you guys need me to repeat that again?
Yes, please.
Yes? Okay, what is a health behavior? Is a health behavior different from a regular behavior, any other behavior you do? And do our behaviors affect our health? Take a few minutes and write it down.
Basically, I switched the episode to anything, and then to local PC. And then I went back to local PC, and that's when it came. It's only touchscreen to select, and use the keyboard. See ya. Right here, see ya.
Yes.
And so now, we're not projecting.
What is health behavior? Is health behavior and do our behaviors affect our health? Fold it.
You want to put
Or you could draw 2 lines.
you don't want to show it on projector. do it on the mouse. Touching is only switching on the projector. Do that, and then with the mouse. Here. Oops, sorry. Just touch it. So now you just touch this again. If you want to see. What did you do here? Do that. So right now, your files are right down there in that folder, and that'll show you the file. Yep, 1176 is a lot the same way. That's what they used to use in hygiene. You know, it's right down the hallway. Oh, you're around. You're central, that's 1176. Almost the same. There's also minus on the top.
Cheater. Wow.
All right, guys, did you finish that quick little assignment?
Uh-huh.
So, what do you guys think is a health behavior? What is a health behavior? Yeah.
I put making a choice that can have an influence on your body. It can be a negative or positive influence.
Absolutely. Give me an example. What's an example of a health behavior? Smoking, drinking, what else?
Eating.
Eating.
Yes.
Yes. Taking a shower. Yes. What about our daily routine?
Washing.
Right. Watching too much TV, right? Being on our phone too much, right? Cleaning our house, not cleaning our house. Does that, could all those habits, second question, do our habits, do our health behaviors, are they any different from a regular behavior?
Yeah. Yes.
How?
I would, because behavior doesn't always apply to health. Like you can have like bad behavior, like no mom, like that's bad behavior, but that's not like, you're not saying no to brushing your teeth all the time. Sometimes it could be like,
Right.
I don't know, washing your mouth out with soap or something.
That's true, but that could affect your health if you ingest too much soap, right?
No, that's true.
It all comes down to all these things are cumulative. Yes.
There's no difference.
In most cases, I love that. Because she's right. She's right. And that's what I want you guys to understand. And when we raise up the projector, I have to do baby steps with this because I'm still learning this. So anyhow, we live in an environment. We talk to individuals and patients. Do you have a question? Are you okay? Okay. If you guys can listen, then I don't have to repeat it again. All right? We live in an environment. Are we affected? Is our behavior affected by the environment that we're in? Right? What about social norms or cultural norms? Does that affect our behavior?
Yeah.
Right. Those have effects on individuals, and then what do they do? What becomes habit? What is comfortable, right? What is acceptable? We're social creatures. We want to fit in. That's all part of choices people make that ultimately affect their behaviors, as in habits, what they do every day. It's cumulative. It adds up, right? And then ultimately, the result. Now, as health professionals, where we fit in, and the reason we're taking this class, and we have these reps that give us lunch every week, which is really wonderful, except for 2 dates, and I'll show you, and we're going to walk through the syllabus, is because we're learning to become very effective, educators, right? You guys have had enough of clinic and preclinical hygiene with Mrs. Lee to know that you guys, part of your hygiene position is to educate your patients, right? You have competencies with OHI. ultimately, what are you changing for that patient? Health, behavior, right? They're brushing their teeth, right? Maybe their motivating factor is, we have a patient, Sam, he wants to look just like that guy on GQ. He wants teeth like that, so he's scrubbing. Is that affecting his behavior? Is that what, social, cultural? Maybe he has a date, right? His gums may be gone, how can you help him? OHI, do you see that? What are little things you can clue in on, finding out what motivates your patient, what is their interest? That will make you effective at educating them, right? Is it whitening? Is it health? What is their motivation and what do they value? When you have patients in your chairs, they're not blank slates. They're coming to your seat with what? Their own set of beliefs, their knowledge, especially if they're an adult patient, right? Their experiences. You give them education. There's two main important components to keep in mind. Is it relevant to them? For adults, we want to learn if it's something that we feel is important to us, right? Will we benefit somehow from that information? It's not different than when you're a little kid going through school and you have to pass first grade. Why? Because you can't go on to second grade. And you're being told what you have to learn, right? ABCs, you have to read, you have to master a certain level of spelling and comprehension, right? But when you're an adult, is it so much that way? Do you see the difference? We're going to talk a little bit about learning styles between adults and children and motivation. And it will make you very effective as educators when you can understand that, all those components to that patient sitting in your chair. And that the environment, their social environment, their cultural environment, there could even be psychological factors, all of that will affect output behavior. And we're there to help them, to nurture them, to love them, to take care of them, right? Are they going to just right away start flossing from day one? Is that a realistic expectation? So what do we do when they come back? We love our patients back up, right? We encourage them. And it starts with us. And I've got to know some of you in clinic and talk to you guys. And the next 2 quarters are going to be about developing health promotion, health education programs that ultimately change behaviors of individuals, of young children. You're going to go out next quarter into public school, develop programs that are applicable, relevant, and also practical for your student, for your patient. You're going to have to understand, how do children learn? How do they relate to things? Are you going to give the same presentation to a young child about this like you would an adult, right? When can you start talking about smoking cessation? You can do that to children, probably not preschool age. They can't relate, right? As you get older, maybe an older crowd. What would interest an adult may not be as interesting to a young child. And once you guys get into the public school arena, you'll have a lot of stories. The littles are interesting. They take it all in. They will volunteer too much information about their family. They will get into your presentations. Then you have an older group, if you guys talk to older children. They're a little more reserved. You may have to use different techniques to draw out that learner. What motivates them? What is relevant to them? Right? And then an adult. So this class will not only help you become familiar with being good educators and changing health behavior, but it will make you familiar with the dental products outside of a basic toothbrush and floss that are available to you to educate with a patient. Okay? Not everybody is going to be a flosser. Like Susan was talking about, some are motivated with what? Water picking. They love it. It's very effective. That's a powerful tool to have in your armamentarium. The projects that we're going to do in this class, one of our biggest projects is due at the end, and it's a group project. And it's basically going over, creating a PowerPoint on each of these lunch and learns about that product. So at the end of 10 weeks, you're going to submit to me electronically a group PowerPoint. and it's going to be going over that product, and I will spend some time with you guys, and how to recommend that to what type of patient, what are some pros and cons, when did you use this product, I'm going to encourage you to pick it up, to use it, try it out, what have you learned, and it'll be one PowerPoint slide per product. And it's a group project, because I understand you guys have HIV rotation on Wednesdays, so that's why it's a group. If you can't be here, guess what? Someone in your group can, and they can take some notes and get some information for you. And as I'll show you in our syllabus, and I hear everybody can see it now on Canvas, I published all our modules. In my class, I PDF every lecture I give, and it's available to you guys. I quiz and test out of that. We're not going to have a midterm. We have 6 quizzes and a final. I'm also going to hone in on lectures with you. Highlight, write, make notes in your computer. You may see this on a test. Listen, because you will. So you'll want to know it, okay? I will really try to outline quizzes for you so you know what to study and focus on. Because I know, I wish my class, my wonderful class, was the only class you took, but it's not. But at the same time, I can't cover all the material if I have to repeat myself 3 times. So if you're talking, you're going to miss it. Okay? The other thing is, any questions on anything, you have my email. It's posted on the homepage of our class. Reach out. Yes?
Did you already read roll call attendance?
No. Did you receive a grade for this class?
For attendance.
I have not touched that yet, so there might be a phantom grader, we'll find out. But no, I have not graded that yet. I usually enter that after class, okay? Because it takes up the whole cumulative class. You're not in attendance. If you don't make arrangements and you leave early, you're not here. I don't split hairs on that. You're either here or you're not. And if you're going to miss the class, then I get an email, because that's the polite and responsible and professional thing to do. Hey, I'm not feeling good, or I'm sick, or I had to do this. That happens, that's school, but you let me know, okay? All right, so let's look at the syllabus together, and then we'll go over a few slides back to learning and back to health behaviors. We're not going to cover all the learning theories today. We're going to focus more on that next visit. But this class session, I want you guys to be clear on what assignments are due. And I want you guys to relax and de-stress, because the other part of this class is taking care of yourselves. Before you can educate on health behavior, you need to reflect that in you. And I know you guys were all pretty stressed out last term with oral path. That was a heavy hitter. Are you guys doing anything for stress relief now? No. I want to hear what you're doing. Like, what do you do that's not dental related? I don't want to hear about dental. What do you do that's not part of the school? You exercise? What do you do?
Run. Cardio.
You do what?
Cardio.
Okay. What else?
Sleep.
Sleep? What else do you do? Good. Do you guys do that regularly? Every week?
What is that? Do what?
What do you do that's not dental related, that feeds your soul, that helps you unwind a little bit? Yoga, I love it. Soccer? Did you watch World Cup?
Yes.
Men
USA.
didn't do as well as women, but hey, we're still rooting for them. What else do you guys do?
Pickleball.
Pickleball? I have a good friend that plays pickleball. Where do you play pickleball?
Here at Melinda.
Do you? Mrs. Lee says she plays pickleball. Do you play with her? Oh, neat. Fun. What else do you guys do? I love it. Do you cook? Do you like to fix your favorite meals? Do you guys go out with friends? Do you have some time to cut loose a little bit? That's not school related, right? Well, every week I want to hear about that, because that's a healthy balance, and you guys need to do that. The other thing, I know I get you in the afternoon, and most of our reps are going to bring you guys food, and you're going to fall asleep on me, because it's not fun to look forward to 4 hours of lecture, wah, 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 right? So, we're going to have a fitness break. Yay! And I need 10 volunteers to to lead our class, and I'll follow. Okay.
Right here.
I love it.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, because we do need to have a little stress-free break, and you'll still get your little 10-minute break to go to the bathroom. Okay, I don't expect you to sit and hold it that long. But I do think it's fun to do, and I want to get names for the rest of our classes from July 17th to September 4th, because our final is on the 12th, okay? So I need some volunteers. If I can get some volunteers, you guys can lead us in yoga, stretches, anything. You have 2 minutes.
I was asking for the attendance sheet, but I would also like to buy.
Perfect. I need volunteers to sign their names on the back.
I can teach some stuff.
Why don't you sign up?
Should I do it?
Don't be shy. Join up.
I don't think you guys can hang for 2 minutes and then
You guys, whoever leads comes right up front and we all follow them. We do a fitness break. Okay? Because this quarter, let me herd you guys back. Guys, listen, you guys sign up. We're going to have fun with that, but this quarter is going to be learning about first how people learn, how do you learn, and how to take care of yourself, okay? When you come in this class, I don't want you stressing out if you're not here at 12 o'clock for lunch and learn, because I get it, you're in clinic. Come in, de-stress, eat lunch. Relax. We're going to usually have a bathroom break before I start. We're going to have an hour lecture, and then we're going to do a quick fitness break and a bathroom break. Fair enough? Then we finish our last end of lecture and we get out of here. Well, I get out of here in time, so Mrs. Lee has ample time to go over preclinical stuff with you. So that's what you can expect. Okay? But I do expect you guys to, like I said, for the group projects, we'll go over that. Make arrangements. If you're not here, someone in your group should take notes and start putting that together little by little. The way I grade, I post everything. So go into Canvas. I've not only done every module for every week, I also have under the assignments tab, are you guys all on Canvas? Let me show you. Pass that around. Those sign the back of that pink sheet who want to do lead our class. Okay? So I need 9 or 10 volunteers.
Oh. Oh, Kevin.
Okay, let's see. Let's go down here. We're going to learn about current theories and how people learn. Guys, listen, follow me. Here we go. Okay, first thing, on your Canvas, go to Dental Hygiene 416, that's us, Lunch and Learn. You're going to see what to expect every week. Click on that.
Good. You need to open with. Oh, there you go.
Let me open.
Yeah, but
Oh, there it is. It's down.
you see where it says open with?
Just click the open with and let it save.
There.
But what?
Right there.
That should be good. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you. All right. I posted our schedule. Today we had Susan Clark water pick. She brought lunch, so you see a happy face. Next week, because I like lunch. Don't you? Don't you like lunch when you're hungry? I do too.
What's
All
wrong
right.
with
Then
you?
July 17th, I was not so happy because Sonicare did not bring lunch. They're not bringing us lunch. So you guys,
Come on,
I
Phillips.
highlight. They're bringing us toothbrushes and whitening kits. So be here.
Okay.
We'll forgive them. Okay, be nice. But I made the unhappy faces red because I know you guys go through this quickly. And if it's red, bring your lunch that week. Okay, so you know, because I'm kind of sad when I don't get lunch. But the next week, Sunstar Aurora Coat is bringing us lunch. Then we have Procter & Gamble. She's bringing us lunch and toothbrushes. You guys are going to have some nice power brushes. So be sure to be here.
Sweet.
We're going to have GlaxoSmithKline coming in. We're going to have Premier, lunch. We're going to have Tepi. We're going to have Colgate. They're all bringing lunch. But our last one, September 4th, no lunch.
Oh.
Sorry. So 2 dates. If you have notes, reminders on your phone, bring lunch to class July 17th and September 4th. Okay? And again, they're all on Canvas. Just click on them. Lunch and learn schedule. Okay? Pretty clear? All right. Let's go to the next file. You'll see here it's our course schedule. Click on that. And you'll see our schedule, what we're going to cover each week. As we go down, you'll see we're going to have assignments. You're going to have some homework tonight. You have a week to turn them in. They're really easy. You're going to go online. I'll walk you through that. Hit on a survey, take a survey, get the results, and you're going to write a brief paper on what you learned about how you learn and how you teach. Because what are we trying to change? What is the ultimate object? Yes, health behavior. So before you can do that, it helps to self-reflect. How do you learn? How do you teach? You'll be more effective. Okay? That's all due on the 17th. You can submit it electronically. You have a full week. Next class period, we're going to finish our first lectures on learning theories, how people learn. And y'all have one assignment, 1 page, double-spaced, writing a mission statement. That's going to be due the following week on the 24th. Okay, and on the 24th, guess what? We have our first quiz, quiz 1. Quiz questions, they're between 10 and 16 questions each quiz, okay? And it's basically over the previous lecture. On this lecture, I'm going to hit home and tell you the points I need you to reflect on, the slides I need you to understand inside and out. You will be asked questions. That's the other thing about this class. It's not really scary up front like oral path, but it'll come back to bite you if you don't study, because a lot of the public health questions, you can't, if you don't understand, figure it out. The answers are very similar. So if you have not studied, this is what bites people badly. They think, oh, this is a warm and fuzzy class, I can do well, and they fail. So I will do my very best, because I look over the quiz questions before I lecture, to hone you guys in on what you need to know, and you guys need to do your best to follow that. And if there are questions, always email me. I'm really good about getting back to you. Yes?
Are the quizzes paper or on exam?
They're on ExamSoft. Okay? All right, so going down. After that, you're going to have quite a gap. You've got quizzes back to back, but again, they're over the previous lecture. There's no midterm in this class. We have our final. August 28th, you're going to be doing a health behavior project, and that's due. That's where you're going to partner up with someone. And guess what you're doing? That's your first victim. You're going to change their health behavior. So you get to work with them. You guys get to pick something that you do that you want to improve on or change. Okay? And you're going to develop a PowerPoint, and it's 1 PowerPoint, 2 people. And you're going to each walk us through your health behavior change. What you guys did, what you encountered, what you would do differently. We're going to go over all of that. All the rubrics are posted on Canvas. And that's not due till the 28th. And then you're going to come up in front of the class and present your PowerPoints for all of us. And we're going to have a couple class periods. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If we are odd, then well, then some may be 3, okay? If we're odd, but we'll see.
Oh, is this the one for the lunch and learn? Or
No,
just
that one's
changing
coming
behavior?
up. This is just changing behavior. So you get to pick a partner. You guys get to pick something that you want to change or improve, and that's your goal. Because we're starting with ourselves this term, okay? Before we can go and start teaching other people, right? It starts with us, and that's why I want you guys reflecting on how you're blowing stress off and how you're educating, how you're learning, because how you learn similarly is how other people learn. That's why we're doing these exercises on tonight's homework or this week's homework is on how do I learn and how do I teach. Okay, there's not one fixed way, but it helps you reflect a little bit on that as we start. Yes.
And like one would be up just on the from today is what this one is. So whatever
Today,
and
tomorrow,
next
next week, sorry. Yeah, we haven't started yet. So, you will get honed in on all of that. Okay, then the last week, journal projects, and that's our PowerPoint journal that we're making for each Lunch and Learn. So your first slide on this project will be water pick. On that, you're going to list the average prices. Thank you. Do I have volunteers? Yes, awesome, guys. Jessica, you're next week, so you know.
Which one?
Shamas?
Okay.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Shamus.
Shamas? Correct me, because I don't want to butcher your name. You can butcher mine. All right. So journal projects, first PowerPoint slide will be on water pick. Next week, Philips Sonicare. Okay? You're going to be talking about that. Pretty clear, that's all the assignments. 5 assignments, and you're going to knock 2 out of the park next week. They're done. Okay? And the third one's that mission statement, done by the 3rd week. Then the rest of the time, you're going to be focusing on your health behavior change project and getting your slides together for the last project that's due on September 4th. And that's your group PowerPoint. And that's only turned in. There's no presentation on that. The only one that you will be coming up front and presenting on is the health behavior one. Okay? And that's fun to share because everybody can learn from everybody what your challenges were. Yes?
On the one that we're just turning in, you mentioned pricing, and then what else should we include on that PowerPoint?
We're going to go through it because I'm going to show you the rubrics, okay? And you guys, again, have access to all of this. It's all on Canvas. I'm really good about posting that stuff. So, you get up here, let's see, to go to Assignments tab. Assignments. You're going to click on your Assignments tab. Okay, do you see all these? Those are all the assignments. I posted them. I post how I grade. I post what's due. Pretty good? Pretty clear? You just click on them and you have it. Now, what I would do, assessment of learning styles. This is tonight's. This week's, I should say. Rubric, what kind of learner? What am I doing? Go by this. This is exactly how I grade. I want to give you points. I don't overthink it or split hairs. You put the information in that is required on the rubric, you get the points. You don't, I deduct. It's simple. Yes?
That doesn't show up when I click on it. I just.
Rubric?
Yeah, me too.
Do you guys, you're not getting that?
It just says it's not available yet.
Okay, well, I will correct that before I leave today, so you have it, because I want you guys to have it. But this is what you're going to expect to see.
Wait. Over there, and the last one says do this automatically. Click them, and then okay.
Open.
Do that again.
What?
You saved it. You saved it.
No,
You
click
want to
it.
right click
Click again.
and then,
What are you doing to me?
Now
Just-
it's
Now it's
showing
screwing up
up
my lecture.
I'm just trying to.
Now it's
Yeah.
saving
Here.
it.
You
Right.
should be downloaded now.
Right,
top right, and one of the big
There.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Look at all this.
Now you have 4. You see?
Now, you guys still don't have it on yours though. Okay. But this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the rubric. This is the website you go to. Got it?
Yeah.
You mentioned it's going to be due on 17th. It's
Yeah.
going to be due tonight?
Not tonight. You can do it tonight if you want. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's due on the 17th and you will submit it electronically. Yes,
Yeah, on the thing it actually says it's available until the 17th.
right.
Yeah, and then it's due the 17th.
It's due the 17th. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
that's why we can't.
You can't see it because it's available on the 17th? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll
No,
change
it's
it.
available until.
That educates me, so maybe that'll be my health behavior, not to stress you out. Okay, so this is what you're going to see on the rubric. You're going to see this website, go to it. You're going to take a brief quiz. It's going to print out. This is what kind of learner you are. Write that down. It's also going to offer you want the PDF? No, you don't. You're done. You get off the site. Done. Okay? You take that information they gave you about how you learn, and you answer these questions. That's it. What findings did you find out about yourself? What learning methods? Give it specific examples in your own life. What has affected you as you discover your own talents and assets? How would you change or how do you learn? And that's it. So follow the rubric, answer those questions, you'll get 8 points. That's one of the assignments that's due next week. Pretty clear? Okay. Then the next one, you'll go back and you should see assessment of teaching styles.
Now, go.
To my arrow.
Yeah.
You're awesome, thank you. You become a pro thanks to your skilled teaching. All right, so you go to this one right here. It's highlighted. Go to that website. Take the quiz. Again, you don't need to upload a PDF or anything like that. It'll just automatically give you the results. Write them down, screenshot, whatever. Take that, go to the rubric, write a paper that answers all of those questions. Okay? What were the findings from this test? What kind of teaching styles do you have? What methods work best for you? Self-reflect. What would you do differently? And then you turn it in. And that's what's due, and those are 2 assignments out of the 5 for this class, and it's due next week. Yes?
So we write our answers within those areas, but do we write a paper as well?
No, you can write, I would write, you don't even have to use this. Use the rubric to guide you writing a paper or a paragraph.
So
It can be, it doesn't even have to be a full page. It could be half a page on each one. But just make sure you answer all of that. Okay? Now, if you choose to do it on a rubric like this and turn it in, that's fine too. You're still doing the assignment. You're still learning how you learn and how you teach, and you're telling me about it. I'm okay with that. I just want you guys to see on assignments, I've posted all of that stuff, and you can follow it and make sure it's there. Okay? And that's what's due next week. Do you guys have any questions on what's due? Okay. So, let's go on. Next assignment, personal mission statement. That's due on the 24th, okay? Back to my arrows. Okay, this is what you're going to do. This one is a 1-page written, typed, double-spaced is fine. Shows how I grade. You're going to include positive behaviors, character traits, and values that you consider important and want to develop as an oral health educator, because you're not just a clinician, okay? What are some things you want to grow as? What are some important habits, behaviors, character traits that you think is important in that? And what do you want to focus on, and who do you want to become as a person? And as a registered dental hygienist one day. What kind of an educator, what kind of a provider do you want to be? And what I want you to do is list it in a positive impact. So if you're, let's say you have a low voice and you need to speak louder. Don't say, well, I need to stop speaking so low. Frame it positive. I need to speak with more confidence, or I would like to speak confidently. Do you see what I mean? That's more positive. I want to see that in you guys. I don't want you to sit and reflect on what you're doing wrong, because I'm not going to do that. When I work with you in clinic, I'm not going to sit and reflect on what you're doing wrong. Well, how can you make that better? I want you guys to relax and learn and grow and ask questions and make mistakes, because that's part of how adult learners learn, from experience, right? And we want to make sure that it's practical, so we remember those things, right? And they're relevant to us. So frame your mission statement in a positive way. How are you going to love yourself and grow and become the type of educator and clinician that you want to be? And that's it. It's not a lot of overthinking. And then ultimately, create your own mission statement that you feel will guide you professionally, a standard that you are shooting for, and make it emotional. This can be personal. This is about you, not about anybody else. You as a person. Okay? And that's the rubric. There you go. Okay? And right there, that's 3 of your assignments for this class. So don't stress when I say there's 5 assignments. We're knocking most of them out of the park the first few weeks. And they're pretty simple, and there are a lot of self-reflection in this class. And that's what I want you guys to do when you come here, because I want you guys to have a place of shelter and to relax and to learn, because that way you will become better educators. Health behavior. This is where you partner up. I also included in here, and I'll release it, I'll make it available immediately, an example of what one group did. Okay, so not only do you have a rubric, you also have an example. And as you know, don't plagiarize, use it. You can use it to guide you. But you're basically going to have a partner, 2 students, 2 health behaviors that you want to develop. What would you like to modify? Recording your, all the steps and what you did, what you recorded, all the methods that you used. And we're going to go over that in each lecture on how people learn. What are different types of learning theories that applied to your behavior change? Not everybody subscribes to every learning theory. What did each partner use as reinforcement for that behavior? What worked? What didn't work? Tell me all of that. Be thorough. That's how I grade it. The more thorough you are with all of these questions, discuss what you would have liked your partner to have done differently. Do you think this behavior will continue? It's okay to say no. It's perfectly honest. You're not going to get deducted points. It's not about whether you did it and you're going to do it. It's, did you make an attempt? Did you go through that process? Because in many cases, let's say tobacco cessation that we're really going to hone in on, that's going to affect our patients. They may not change right away. Do people change and stop smoking right away? Do most people do that? No. That doesn't mean it was a bad experience, right? It was an experience, and that's what we're here to observe. And then one thing that's really important, and I do deduct for this, I want to see some self-reflection. Okay, so follow the questions, specifically write that, and you'll get your points. And you'll develop a PowerPoint based on that information. Okay, that's what you're doing. And you're going to come up here and you're going to walk our whole class through your partner behavior change and tell us what you guys did. Okay? Questions? Everybody still awake? You're not sleeping on me? Yes.
Can you have like the same behavior change?
No.
No. Like you have to have 2 different.
2 students, 2 different behaviors.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know now, I'm not sure how many were in class, but if we are odd numbered, then we'll add a 3rd. Okay? But ideally, I want 2. Okay? Questions? Pretty clear? Okay, let's move on. Go to our last one. So let's go. Journal project. All right. Okay, so journal projects. Neat, organized, legible. This is going to be a PowerPoint. You can be in groups of 3s or 4s, okay, for your journal. This is where everybody has to pitch in. Like I said, if someone's not in class, other team members need to be here and take notes because you're going to need that for your project. You're going to be discussing oh no, what happened? What did I click on?
Awkward.
All right, to my arrow, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Thanks. All right, so you're going to be talking about, let's say there's a toothbrush. You're going to evaluate that toothbrush. What did you think of it? What all of these bullet points, they need to be on that PowerPoint slide. Okay? Use this when you guys put it together to guide you. Follow all of this. Evaluations. Find a picture of the product. Put it on your slide. What are the recommendations? Did you personally like this or not? And it's okay to not like stuff. Be honest. Critical thinking. Would you recommend this to a type of patient in particular who would benefit and who probably wouldn't benefit? Okay? And then you're just going to analyze a brief analysis of each product. And then I give you a rubric. No. I just want to close this. There. I give you a product journal student example so you can see. And here's what it's going to look like. This is, let's say, one person, but it's not going to be a one-person assignment. What was her first product? Floss. So it's basically stating the facts. When did she use it? October 13th to the 20th. Who makes it? What's the brand? What's the composition? How do you floss? When? Before or after? Where? Can you carry it in your purse? Can you store it in the bathroom? Where do you keep it? Why? Where's a website from the professional product site? List it. In your personal experience, did that help you? And what would be your recommendations for that patient? Bless you. That's your slide. Okay? You guys have a copy. It goes through just about all the different ones, different examples of what you can do. Okay? Questions? Yes.
Let's say for the water pick, like, let's say nobody in the group buys a water pick, so we don't really know how we like it, type of thing. Will we be marked off?
You don't have to buy a water pick.
Yeah.
I get that. That's a big product, but have you used it? Have you turned it on in clinic? We have one in clinic, and we're gonna, if everybody answers their survey, we'll get another one.
Okay.
Okay? How did you like it? What would you recommend? Okay? And a lot of the stuff, if you don't have it, I wouldn't panic. Chances are we have it in clinic, and you could try it out and look at it, and I encourage you to at least be familiar, because the more you learn, the more you'll be able to apply it to your students. Do you guys have questions? Those are our 5 assignments. That's a brief overview. But where is it? It's all in Canvas, and before I leave today, I'll make sure that that is available so you have all the rubrics. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at learning theories. We'll go to our modules. Now, here's another thing I want you guys to be familiar with on modules. Module 1 is today. I will put PowerPoints up, everything we covered in class. If there's any extra stuff, that goes on there. We're not going through all of this today, and no sweat, because we're going to cover that next week. Not a big deal. I wanted to spend some time honing in with you guys the importance of what we're doing in this class to understand what we're changing, health behavior, all the different facets and factors that go into that, how we learn, how we teach. I want you guys to have an understanding of the assignments and what to expect in this course. Have I covered that well? Do you guys understand clearly why we're here, what we're doing, what we're learning, and how we will benefit? Yes? Okay. So every week you'll see this. Now next week is going to be a repeat. Guess what? Because I didn't finish the lecture. So guess what I post again? It's the same stuff. Okay? Only what is due are assignments, right? That's the only difference. But all the same information, I don't care if you check out the PowerPoint next week or this week, it's the same PowerPoint we're going to look at. Okay? Are you guys able to see that on your Canvas? Tell me. Go to your modules. Are those available?
Module 1
Only
only.
Module 1, not Module 2. On Module 1, do you see all of the PDFs?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start there. Learning theories. Let's take a look. All right. Andragogy, pedagogy. What are they? Yes.
I have a quick question. So you said that we're gonna have quizzes on what you covered the week before.
Yes, but
So
we
if
don't
you-
have a quiz next week.
Okay. So
Quiz 1's not, you look on your syllabus again, quiz 1 is not till the 24th.
Okay. So in the future, when we have a quiz, if you don't finish the PowerPoint,
We
are
don't. We don't. Yeah, then we're not going to be quizzed on what
Okay.
I haven't taught you. I wouldn't do that to you, yes.
So the readings that we have to do for each day. Okay, never mind. Got it.
I want you to focus on my PowerPoints. Big clue. That's why I post them. That's why I'm talking about, I know I'm not the only class. Okay? And that's where I need you guys to hone in on. And that's why I post them and repost them every week, so you have that. And if I can save you a book, I will. Okay? But focus on your PowerPoint. So let's get started. Andragogy and pedagogy. What's the difference? Does anybody know? We talked about individuals. We talked about health behavior earlier. Take a stab at it. Pedagogy has to do with what? What do you think? Huh?
Adult.
Yes, children. It's how do children learn. What about andragogy? Adults. That's it. Okay, this will be a quiz question. You'll see that. What's the difference? Andragogy has to do with how adults learn. Pedagogy has to do with how children learn. Learning outcomes. We're going to talk about teaching styles. How do we teach each group, adults and children? And what's the difference? And we already just covered that. Can you distinguish the difference? Yes. The last three, don't worry about. We haven't covered that yet. We'll talk about it next week. No stress. Part 1. Let's talk about how children and adults learn. Okay, this is what I need you to, understand. I learn how to use this.
Go over there where it says download learning theories PDF.
Where here?
There. Then go to
Will it
your
give me a
arrow.
full screen?
Go to your arrow.
Oh, my little blue arrow. I love that little guy.
You can also go to the full screen at that arrow
I
right
feel
there.
safe.
And then-
Here?
No, the middle
Yeah,
bar.
maximize, right?
That works,
you
but
can
you
do
can
it
also
full
max.
screen.
You can also keep the. I don't know how to point it.
Where? Here?
So on the first screen you were at, go more, okay, there, now go down.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
There is.
Oh, one more.
Right.
One more. There we go.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But you can do either way.
Where am I? What happened?
You go up.
There we go.
The
Awesome.
arrow
Thank
keys as
you.
well.
You're teaching me. What is that? Andragogy or pedagogy? Yes. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about. What is the difference between adults and children? We touched a little bit on it, and this is the crux of the information. With children, is it usually based on their prior experience? Where are they coming into something? It's usually prescribed. Adults are usually telling them what they need to learn, right? There's a specified subject they're going to learn. And that material has to be very clear, and they have to have a little goal, like you pass, get a treat, right? It's how children learn. It is dependent on the instructor. The learner comes with really little background knowledge. All they're told is they need to learn this, right? So they're going into this more blindly. They have to pass this criteria before they can advance, right, to the next point. Hence, we go through school. That's usually a motivation for children. I want to pass this so I can go to the next level, right? And their learning process is really based on something that's prescribed and set in front of them. This is what you're going to learn. And what are they motivated by? Their grades. They want to move on. They don't want to fail. Now, adults are a little different. Adults are usually self-directed. Are you guys sitting in this classroom because you want to learn? Because you want to be a hygienist? Right? You self-directed yourself. There's a reason you're here. We didn't sit down and grab you and say, you will be a hygienist and I will teach you this, right? No, you're here because you want to be here. When you come into the classroom, do you already have ideas about dental hygiene and your own experiences? What you've learned so far in your first year, right? You have a background. You're coming in with some experience and knowledge. And you're a rich resource for each other, and you guys are a rich resource for me because you're teaching me how to use this. See, so we all benefit. It's not just one way. Any change is likely going to trigger readiness to learn. So you're going to see, you're going to change, and you're going to learn if you see how it applies to whom? Whom? You, right? Does it need to be relevant to your dental hygiene education, what we're covering in class? Yeah. You're paying me a lot of money to teach. It should be. And should it be practical? Easy for you to put into practice and improve and be a better professional? Absolutely. So that's the difference. That's what you're looking for. And what do you ultimately want to do? You want to be a better educator. So you want to learn how to perform a task better, how to solve a problem, how to educate your patients and be effective with OHI. And go to them with a wide knowledge of tools which you're going to learn each week in Lunch and Learns. Okay? To choose a tool that would benefit that patient. And give them that education in the way that they learn so you're really effective. Okay, because you know they're an adult and they come to you with their own experiences, their own beliefs, their own motivations for being there. How are you going to take that knowledge and apply it to that patient and encourage them and motivate them to brush properly or floss every day or even come see you every 3 months or finish the treatment you recommended, which is root planing, and they really don't want to do that? Understand? That's the difference between children and adults. They have to see the benefit to them. And what are their motivators for an adult? It's usually their self-esteem or a health benefit or something they will derive out of it. Are they so worried that they're going to pass on to 4th grade or 5th grade if they don't? They're going to pass anything or please you? Not really. They're there for themselves. And I need you to understand the fundamental difference because this, you'll see a couple questions on the quiz about how do children learn and how do adults learn. How do children learn? Are things more prescribed for children?
Yes.
Right. How about adults? What motivates adults? Yes, and that quiz question, remember that. What is a motivator for adult learners? Self-esteem. Are you going to see that with children? No, not as much. They want grades, they want to pass, they want to move on. This is something new to them. Okay? And which type of learner brings in experience, existing beliefs and values? Adults or children? Adults. So we have to recognize that, we have to respect that, we have to take that all into consideration. Teaching styles. So what type of student, what type of teacher are we? We can be different types of teachers. We can be an authority. You have to listen to me and we're going through every slide and you have to know it. And that student would have to be more dependent. So where would you see that more effective with? An adult learner or a child learner?
Child.
A child learner. What about one that is a motivator or a guide? You could give them an inspiring lecture, guide them to come to their own conclusions, help guide your student. What is your student going to be more, the type of student would be more of someone that would be more interested, right? Where you're motivating them, you're encouraging them to pursue something. Now, if you're a facilitator, you're helping them, guide them on a group project. So if you're guiding someone on a group project, that type of student would be what? More? They're more involved. They're part of it. They're getting something out of this, right? You're only facilitating them. Is that more for a child or more for an adult? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're helping them. You're guiding them. A lot of this is what we do when we do OHI with our patients. We're facilitating. How often do you brush, right? Mrs. Smith, can I encourage you to work on brushing before bed? It's the most important time to brush. Let me see what you're already doing. It looks great. How about we work on adding one more time a day? Do you see how that works? Is that patient involved? Are you involved with them? You're only facilitating. You're not so much saying, okay, we need to start doing this and we need to start doing that. No, you're just adding little by little and you're involving that patient. If we're a consultant or a delegator, again, that's more relative to how adults learn. And that's usually a good example of that is when we're in graduate school or even in college and we're doing projects and we're touching base with our professors. Can you read this? Is it correct? That is more of a delegator, and that patient or that student is already more self-directed. So what would be an example of that practically in OHI? They're already doing something. Let's say they're already flossing now every day, and you see a few areas and you're showing them how to adapt in certain areas. Are you necessarily getting them to start the habit if they're already doing it? No, but you're helping facilitate, you're helping delegate what they're doing. Do you understand? You're fine-tuning what they're already doing. They're self-directed. They're wanting to do it, but there again, you're giving them guidance. So what I need you to understand, and you'll see this on the quiz, are understand the different stages of teaching. And if you're given a question, if you're a facilitator as a teacher, what kind of a student would you be having? A student that is what? Involved. If you are an authority coach, what type of student would you be having?
A child or dependent.
Someone that's dependent on you, right? Yeah, they're going to list those answers, and you need to be able to recognize, is an interested student going to do well with someone who's an authority coach? No, a dependent student would. What about a student that is self-directed? Are they going to do well with someone who's a consultant that just gives them the right nudge in the right direction and they can go? So this is an important slide to be familiar with, okay? Make notes on that. Alrighty. Okay guys, 2:50, we are out of class time. We're going to pick up where we leave off. Any questions up till now on your assignments? Any questions on what we covered on how we learn and the difference between learners? What is andragogy? What is children? Or pedagogy. What are some different teaching styles?
Authoritative.
I want you to be familiar with all of those, okay? What are the types of students? And could you lump those in andragogy or pedagogy? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys, go ahead and take a bathroom break. Oh, before I need to get your little sheets. Huh? Well, actually, no, you know what? Hang on to them because I'm gonna have you finish filling them out next lecture. Because we're going to go over the health behavior. Yeah.
Are we still in this one?
Mrs. Lee? Yeah.
Are we in this room?
Are you not with Mrs. Lee? You're with Miss Lee in this room.
I don't know. I think we're in this room.
Does she usually have you at 11:76?
Yeah.
Well, you have plenty of time. It's 2:50, so you have plenty of time to be there. Okay, guys, so here's your break. Take off. We're done. Questions? Did I not cover anything clear enough?
We're in this room.
It says 11:02 on the.
I have no idea which room you're in. I just know that you see Mrs. Lee.
Oh, wait. Here.
No, but with you, we're in this room.
Yes.
Okay. My Connor's still outside, right? You know?
I was thinking a little type A.
All right, guys. You're welcome. Thank you. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me a tutorial.
I wanted to check you.
All right, guys, take your break. She's going to start that
Hey, hey, hey.
Por Vallarta, mejor.